Hi, I'm Ryan Kessel. I've been on staff here at Cottonwood for 5 years, and I serve as the Singles 2 Care and Recovery Pastor, and we've been married 4.5 years now.
Hi, I'm Jaclyn Kessel. I'm actually a physician recruiter, and this is our sweet little girl, Ava, who is actually 5 months old today.
And this week we're addressing on how our relationships, whatever they may be, our marriage specifically, how can they be better, or how can they make us better? Better in the sense of more like Jesus. We actually met on Match.com and had our first date on November 28th and got engaged on January 25th and then married on May 4th. And it was fast and furious, but in a good way. I brought some unrealistic expectations into our marriage and held her to not necessarily just the better standard, but the best standard in my mind. So those are some things that we had to work through in addition to being married previously and working through that as well.
I think that for me, things started a little just rough in my mind and my heart. Even prior to our marriage, or the wedding day at least, we did Before You Say I Do classes. And I can remember in the submission topic that I just about lost it. And I think that kind of just set the stage for that tumultuous first couple of years of just really wrestling through that and what that meant for, God to really, how He calls me to submit to Him as Ryan ultimately submits to His authorities.
And that battle of submission that she faced produced some anxiety in her. Mm-hmm. And my response to that anxiety was completely insensitive and null and void of any empathy. For example, there was this one time that she had so much anxiety, she was in the closet, breaking down, melting down, and the way I responded to that was, first of all, not right, but being outside of the closet in the room and basically screaming at her, not being able to understand why she's being so emotional.
I just can remember thinking, why doesn't He want to love me? Why doesn't He want to just support me in this way? Doesn't He want to come next to me and hold my hand and pray with me? When all He wanted to do seemingly was try to get away from me, which He couldn't really in the 800 square foot we lived in.
Or to try to fix the situation.
Exactly. And I can just remember feeling so alone in a lot of ways, that here it is that, God gave me this amazing man to marry, but why is it that we're so at odds with each other? Why is it that we just can't do this? And at that point in time, it really felt like we could not do that.
I think God has taught us through that to learn how to communicate and see each other through each other's not only eyes, but mind and heart. And I continue to learn how to do that as well. In addition to really being convicted, over the last 5 years, I teach on a regular basis, and really being convicted to practice what I preach. Mm-hmm. And for her to lovingly remind me of that as well. So it took me some time to learn how to respond to that in the way Christ calls us to.
Mm-hmm. I think that something that we've both done, and I say we've both done, actually it's really just the Lord working in us. He basically made us both realize that the faster we get over ourselves and our singleness and, in our old selves, if you will, the more we could just move on together in Him. And I think that's just such a fundamental truth, that we just really have to die to ourselves on a daily basis, not just with our relationship with the Lord, but now that we're married, it's us. So I think the faster we learn how to get over ourselves, the better off we can be together in serving Him.